Hi, this is Daniel Baker, and these are my quick thoughts on the TED Talk video we watched. The first thing that kind of surprised me was how big of an impact animals have on the environment. I didn't realize that they are responsible for 18% of our greenhouse gases, and that they take up about 30% of all the land in the world. That's a lot devoted just to the animals that we eat. Also didn't realize they also hurt the the land we use and our water. The bigger thing that interested me was uh, the way we are all dependent on meat, and that that's sort of a manufactured need. The USDA has pushed the importance of things like meat, milk, and cheese, and that's not really foods that we need to survive and get all of our nutrients. We need a certain amount of protein, but not nearly as much as is recommended, and it is not nearly as important as fruits and vegetables. I also found it interesting that there was no frozen food until the 1920s, no snap foods, nothing like that in the early 20th century. People just ate food. They didn't do much with it. They didn't add preservatives or anything like that. Everybody ate local. Making home meals was a big thing, but from the 20s to the 50s, that kind of fell out. Food has become more industrial, and home cooking is not nearly as important. I also liked how the speaker pointed out that granola bars are very close to candy bars. I noticed that when I was running in high school, a lot of the processed energy bars or granola bars for runners contain a ton of processed sugars, high fructose corn syrup, a lot of stuff like that, and aren't really as good for you as you'd like to think. And then I also found it interesting that he pointed out how much grains and soy are in our food. Cattle are forced to eat grain and soy, so are chickens, and then we bread our chicken nuggets and food like that, so we're containing a lot of excess grains. I also think it's bad that we have industrial food production that is not good for us because it acts like it's a plastic and things like that, but food is not like that, and we need to emphasize more on making it important for us. Uh, I also liked how the speaker pointed out that we eat much more junk food, and that I agree there's a lot less home cooking than there used to be. I know for me, the home cooking, we usually heat up a thing of pasta, grab a bag of pre-made salad, maybe some canned fruit, and that's usually dinner, which is okay, but it's not nearly as good as it could be. Usually I try to eat whole wheat pasta, but even then, there's still a lot of processed stuff that goes into the boxed pasta. And going forward, when I'm selecting my food, I'm going to try and stay away from canned food. So as he said, the canned food is not nearly as good as fresh vegetables and fruit. So I'm going to try and make a more concentrated effort to stay away from all types of canned food. I'm going to read my ingredients more and stay away and continue to look at granola bars and what granola bars are the best to eat. I'm also going to try and cut back on my meat a little bit. I don't eat a ton of meat because I have a strict diet for my running, but I should cut back a little bit and eat more vegetables. Probably going to start measuring them so I make sure I get at least 3 to 3.5 cups of vegetables a day. And I'm also gonna be more aware that everything that's listed as organic foods might not be made in an organic way, and I need to make sure I'm aware of everything that I'm putting into my body. And that's all I have on the TED Talk. I look forward to hearing your thoughts.